Early morning, and this is Saturday morning, and we're still in Rudesheim. We spent the night here, and this morning is our cruise along the river and seeing the castle cruise. So it looks like it's going to be an absolutely beautiful sunrise. About 6:40 in the morning, and sunrise will be at 7:19. Really nobody else up this morning yet. Breakfast opens, the cook-to-order breakfast restaurant opens at 7. I'll go down and collect Keith in the room. This is the breakfast buffet. Salmon. Huge selection of yogurt. Muesli. The cold cuts. Excuse me, what is this called right here?
That's John Hagel pastry, ma'am.
Oh, okay. Great, thank you. The fruit. And all the bread and the toaster. And the pastries. We're going to have these croissants with some of the turkey from behind there for lunch. These are apple and then chocolate croissants. And jam. And the cereal. This is the oatmeal station. 2 types of oatmeal. This is the made-to-order egg station where the chef will make your eggs. Keith gets a ham and cheese omelet every morning. It's early. The dining room has just opened, 7 a.m. And they're not going on excursions this morning, so there's not many people in there. It's a beautiful sunrise this morning. So we're getting ready to move out, and the pilot comes down from, the ship's captain comes down from up here in the tower, and then he comes down here and uses the controls here.
Cine e în față, proba? Cine e în proba în față? Cine este proba în față la puntea de manevră?
Nu știu dacă e cineva.
Și să dai drumul la Parlament?
Nu prea știu cuvintele, că n-am avut ocazia să exersez.
Joel is going to the front, no?
Mă duc la să-și prinde pe morar.
Da, Joel will go to the front, huh? Arată, explică lui băiatul ăsta care stă acolo, explică cum să dă drumul la pară minci ordine. Mai întâi dai drumul la extra, după asta la forau și apoi la spring.
Good, thank you for good. All hands on board, Introverts.
Okay.
Well, good morning. It's early Saturday morning, and we're about ready to take our river cruise through the river gorge, past the Lorelei rock, and see all the castles this morning. They gave us a castle guide, and there's about, I guess, 40 castles to see on the way up the Rhine. and they gave us a map here. Kind of shows us the location. We're in Rudesheim right now at the bottom, and then we're going to head up north, actually downstream, but actually going north all the way up to the last castle here at kilometer 592. We've been actually using this kilometer quite a bit. I have an app on my cell phone called the River app, and it uses the kilometers, and then at each place on the kilometers you can press record and it'll tell you a little bit about that area. It told me all about this city here, and it told us yesterday we went by a power plant, a large power plant, I think 1200, I hope I get this right, megawatts on one unit, compared to like where Keith worked, which was I believe 1500, and the other one was 900, but they were old power plants from 1974 and 1976, and in 2013 they were well, they're not decommissioned, yes, but they were taken offline, and I'm sure over the years they'll be decommissioned. So we went by those while we were eating lunch yesterday, but my River app had told me that they were coming up, and we had stayed on the boat we stayed on the boat almost all of yesterday, other than when we, towards the end of the day, we went into Rudensheim and went to the Aldi looking for Pringles, and they were all sold out. They actually carry them, but they were all sold out, and it looked just like an Aldi in the United States. So that was kind of a fun little walk to do that. And we were parked here right next to a campground, and we kind of walked on the road that goes into the campground and then into a really treed road to go into town and into the Aldi. So that was actually a fun walk. I think we probably went 2 or 3 miles in the afternoon. In the morning we walked around this walking path up above, kind of the way I've been doing this morning since sunrise. So I came out here at sunrise and then walked the whole walking path. But the cruise has been wonderful, and it's not very crowded this morning. People are just now starting to get up and come up to the upper deck to start seeing the castles, but most were down at breakfast. Keith and I, on the other hand, I was up here at 6 a.m. looking at the pre-sunrise, and then we went to breakfast at 7, and there was only one other person in the dining room, and had our breakfast early and then start walking up here. So that's what I'm going to get back to right now, is get a little bit more walk in before we get right into the heavy part of the castles.
Taking our turn here now in the Bingen Lock, and then we will start our scenic sailings once again, and broadcast into the lounge, into the Aquavit Terrace, inside and outside, and on the sun deck. Have a very pleasant morning.
So this is the town of Rudensheim. Quaint German town.
I think so.
Sailing along this morning. So the commentary you can hear in the lounge, the Aquavit Terrace inside and outside, and also on the sun deck. Best place to be on the sun deck, of course, because you can see both sides at once. And a nice place to sit on the sun deck is under the canopy, and it's to commemorate the re-establishment of the German Empire in 1871. And it stands at the top of the hill here on the right hand side, 225 metres above the Rhine River. And the monument itself comprises of a statue of Germania, and that's the lady there holding up the Emperor's crown. Germania is a bit like Britannia, sort of symbol of Germany. And she alone weighs 32 tons. And there are various bronze reliefs around the base of the statue of Bismarck and Kaiser Wilhelm I and the German princes and their armies. So 200 life-size figures in all around the base. And you can get up to the monument either by using the chairlift. Bingen, Old Town, originally settled by the Romans, and And we see our first castle, the collectors of mines. It was destroyed by the French in 1689, a day we're going to hear an awful lot about this morning. And the castle was restored in the 19th century, and today it serves as the town hall and local history museum. So it's a clock castle with the French flag from its tower. The building fell into decay after 1572 and was no more than a ruin when the Swedish army arrived in 1632 during the 30 Years' War. And the castle was reconstructed and renamed Rhine in 1825 by Prince Ludwig of Prussia. And the present owner is a gentleman called Hermann Heckscher, who's renovated the castle and its chapel and is now open to the public. That's Rhine Castle on our left-hand side. The robber barons, who were these robber barons? Well, to build a castle and to charge toll. 16 metres high. But this didn't deter the French from blowing it up in 1659. What happened in 1659?
Yes. I was looking at how the steep these vineyards are, and these people are right there. They're so steep. And Keith noticed that it's even steeper way up there.
Carrying goods, passing us as we sail down the middle Rhine, but the water level is not deep enough for them to carry full cargo, and so it's not commercially viable for them to be sailing, so it is very quiet. Ahead of us you can see the little car ferry just about to cross our bow in front. You may have noticed this morning that there has been no bridges. There are no bridges in the Middle Rhine. There's no bridges across the river between the city of Mainz. We passed yesterday afternoon at about 3:30, and Koblenz, our destination for today. The only way to cross the river is by ferry. So if you have a forward view now, then you want to get a nice shot of the Pfalzgrafenstein, the town of Cay, and the castle of Gutenfels. Now this tower here, the white tower built in the middle of the river, is called the Pfalzgrafenstein, and it's built on this little island called Volcanu Island. And it was first established in 1326 by King Ludwig the Bavarian, and it was built as a toll station to collect tolls from Rhine ships, protected of course by Gutenfels Castle upon the hill. It was further fortified and extended in 1338, and in 1750 the Baroque roofed turrets and things were added. And in its 650 years, it has never been damaged or destroyed. The French writer Victor Hugo described the Pfalz in his 19th century diary of his Rhine tour as a stone ship eternally swimming on the Rhine. Today the Pfalz is the property of the Rhineland-Palatinate, that's the state in which we're in. And it was used as a signalling station up until the 1960s. Today it's open as a tourist attraction. You can little boat across from the town of Cay. And it has an unusual dungeon arrangement. The dungeon is also the well, so that it had a kind of floating raft in the well, and that's where they would put the prisoners. Up on the hill behind the photographic style about the town of Cau, we have this castle. It's known as Gutenfels. Originally it was known as Cau Castle, named after the town. And it was built around 1200 by the Counts of Palatine. But it was renamed Gutenfels, which means good rock in Old German. Like Marksburg Castle, it served as a home for disabled veterans. If you look just in from that, you can see a statue here with the flags in front of it, and this is of Marshal Blucher. Napoleon had just suffered a heavy defeat at the Battle of Nations near Leipzig, and he was being chased by Marshal Blucher here and 100,000 troops.
We're now coming upon the most narrow and the driest part of the Rhine River. So it's very, very difficult to go along here. And as we turn around the corner here, we'll be hitting Lorelei Rock, which sticks out into the Rhine. This is very, very low part of the river. Very hard to navigate. Ooh, looks like I missed the castle back there. That's Lorelei Rock. I had thought that the previous video they did was Lorelei Rock, but this is actually it coming up. It's probably one of the most turbulent parts of the river and the narrowest point. It's at marker 554.5. There's supposed to be something here that actually says Lorelei Rock. See the marker of 553 here. This is supposedly the most narrow part of the Rhine and the most turbulent. You can sort of tell that we're getting close to the Lorelei Rock because it's very, very turbulent here. And it's slung way down. As we come on to it. You see, I'm sitting out here on the balcony to go by it because we're on the right-hand side of the balcony. So we'll be going right by it. Oh yes, that's definitely the Lorelei Rock. My river app guide says it's exactly at 554.5, I think. And there's actually a sign here.
As a legend of the Lorelei is commemorated with Lorelei's farm.
After you pass the Lorelei Rock, there's more castles here. They're playing the German song that's about the Lorelei Rock. the Lorelei rock. There's the cat's castle. So now we're getting at a point where we're going, oh, another castle. There's so many castles along here. So we've just been kind of sit here watching Downton Abbey, and then we spot a castle coming outside. So we've seen plenty of castles. Now they just kind of pop up here and there. So in this castle in, I think 1849 or 1850, Queen Victoria and her husband Albert spent the night here. Motored up here on their yacht and came up and spent the night in this castle. Okay, we're docked in Koblenz, and we are literally docked right at the statue. I think it's of the first Kaiser. And they're just getting the docking ready and putting in the ropes. So the statue is absolutely huge, and it's right here. I think I can get a person. Yeah, there's people there, so you can see how big it is by the people that are standing there. And we're at the convergence of these two rivers. So the Rhine is the one we're on. I forget the name of the other one that's there. It's a Saturday, so there's a lot of people here. And then we watch right here, there's a gondola that will be going. You see that big steel structure there? And we're watching the gondola will go by. So I went to the upper deck here so that we could actually see the gondola easier. And as you can see here, there's the statue again. Our room is right down below here. And there's the gondola. So this is Koblenz. And up here is the portrait. And we did have an excursion today to actually go tour this. But we're not going to go on it because Keith is having a little bit of trouble with his hip today. And so we'll just stay in the room. It's a cold too, it's a really cold day. We'll just stay in the room and we'll watch our Downton Abbey and enjoy it. Definitely don't need to go on another gondola since we go on the Skyliner every week at Disney. So nothing missed there, no FOMO for that. But it does appear to be a beautiful town. I hope you enjoyed this video, and please subscribe, like, and ring the bell to be notified of future videos. Please visit my website at sandijerome.com and visit the free downloads to get my free ebooks.